Hey everybody, welcome to the Country Hobbyist. Today we are reviewing an automatic chicken coop door. This was sent to me by AECOJOY and asked me to give a review on it. So they sent it to me. I set up a little frame here inside the workshop for now. We're going to test it out, see how we like it, and then decide if we're going to move it forward to the chicken coop or not. I found installation to be really simple. Out of the package, it's all put together. No assembly required, except for just mounting it onto your chicken coop or wherever you've got your chickens at. If you already have an opening cut in your chicken coop, you just mount this door up to that hole. It comes with stainless steel screws, and we screw these right in to the chicken coop. So if you don't already have an opening, what the instructions call for is to essentially mount your door opener, and open it up, and then what you're going to do is mark your sides and then go back through and cut that open. So you would mark the four corners, and then you would cut this out with some type of saw, Dremel or something to have the exact measurements of that coop right there. So as we're talking size and dimensions, this is about 8.5 wide. It's 10 inches tall for an opening. The total opening would be, or the total height would be about 15 inches to here. Outside to outside is a little less than a foot. Then total height is 25.5. So you have to have that space above, so 25.5, and then your opening would need to be at least 8 inches or around there. So 8 by 10. This cross section here has about 1.75 inches, so you've got a little bit of playroom and wiggle room to work through. This is going to be able to accommodate most of your standard sized chickens, even maybe some bigger Brahmas. Ducks, probably a lot of the mallards, definitely all the call ducks. Anything you get like Muscovy or a Peking, you might start getting a little tight on space on them going in and out, especially if you had a big Muscovy, big Drake Muscovy for sure. So that's not unique to this door. That's the market. There's not a lot of doors, coop doors that aren't handmade or custom built that aren't that are big enough to handle those bigger ducks. So still would be something cool to come up with a giant automatic coop door that we could cut out and handle like a big Muscovy without coming up and building something ourselves. So a couple things I noticed right out of the gate. 3 sources of power. So it's got battery, which is a little cover right here. It takes just AA batteries. There's a plug-in 120 volt hookup right here. And then that also is the connection that you could hook up for a solar panel. So 3 different options for power there. Control panel right here, pretty easy to set up and pretty straightforward. It always tells us what we need to know about when this door is going to open and close. So let me grab you off the tripod and move you a little closer. Okay. So a couple of things right out of the gate. Setup is quite easy. We just have a setup button here. As we scroll through, you'll notice the time starts to flash. That's the hour. That's the minute. See set current time. You'll notice right above there is the battery power. Right now it shows us that there is the open is off of time. Close is also off of time, so TT. So it tells us the time to open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. or 1900 hours. As we continue through that menu, it'll ask us how do we want to set this. So we can say time or light. It's got 3 light sensors. As you notice, I go over them, they light up there. But we got light, so what the light number is, these light sensors here, and then to time or light to light. So we have the ability to have different options for open and close. And then you can set your open time, and then hour, minute, close time, hour, minute. And that's really it. Resets, saves that setting, and very quickly you've got this door up and going. To test it, there's a test button. Just click that. And then the door works. The motor is built into this control box. Behind this control panel, there's a wheel that pulls open and pushes down this. So there's no opening this door by hand or manually. It has to all be ran through the control panel itself. So right here is a wheel. The motor is attached to it, and you can see right in there. So as I try to demonstrate how this thing opens and closes, it walks on that wheel. So if there were any debris or anything that gets plugged up inside of these walk holes, that would definitely stop it from being able to go up and down. That's definitely something just to be mindful of while you're maintaining your coop and keeping it clean and changing the litter, that the open and close holes here on this door would be cleaned out so that they can walk up and down it. So if we hit the test button to open up the door, you can manually do that here. You can see the time and speed in which it takes to get open. And then we'll turn around and we'll close it here in just a second. The number one question I always see asked, and that I've always been asked on my automatic doors, on the ones I already have, are what happens if there's a chicken in the way? So I guess now this is going to be the test. We're going to act as the chicken, and you'll notice that it didn't like something being in the light sensor there or in the way. And you'll notice there must be a downward sensor. There is one right here. It was in the books and they hadn't noticed that. But it looks like if we go ahead and get close, if we cross that light, so there you go. What happens if we're off to the side? So it just doesn't like any of that whatsoever, does it? There we go. We're in a spot. There's definitely no stopping once if it were to get something in the way, it definitely is going to try to close on it. So something to be mindful of. But for the most part, I thought it was really pretty accurate as far as the downward pressure goes, or the downward sensor goes. So I talked about the different ways of opening. So you've got time to time or light to light. So you've got time light, but it also comes with these little more controls, and they've got a little switch plate on them that you can open and close. Good up to about 120, 130 feet range. I don't have the right size batteries. I thought I did. I bought the wrong one, so I can't demonstrate that. But an up, down, stop button, you can control this remotely. So if I don't know, you want to let the door open and it hadn't opened by light or time for some mistake, you can be up in your house and just hit that button, and then when you're done, you just close it. It's protected. It doesn't have, you can't accidentally hit it in the middle of the night or somebody playing with the keys. So I think that's a pretty nice little additional feature to have, is the ability to remote open and close this door. I think that's just something that AECOJOY thought through when they had these put together and built, was a little bit of additional ingenuity, multiple ways of powering, multiple ways of opening. And for me, that's one of the key benefits of this door. It's automatic. It's got redundancy as far as the ways to be able to open, and I really like that and appreciate that in this product. So I think, like all these products, there's probably a few things that could be improved. Just a couple of things that I've noticed. I don't know if it's a deal breaker or not, but one, I noticed that with this door, I can actually see through it. So that is exposure to a little tiny bit of wind into your coop in the winter. But I think that's really the biggest thing when it comes to these, are what is the winter, how are these going to perform in 0-degree weather. I've noticed that's been one of the biggest problems with the other doors that I've had, is when you get into sub-zero weather, which we have here where I'm at, how are they going to perform? Are they going to work? Are they going to free shut? And I would be curious to see how this thing holds up in sub-zero weather. So we're gonna test that out, and we're gonna run it through the paces and update you guys accordingly. If this gets frozen and the motor can't move because this is froze to the plastic because there's water or wetness in there, what does that do to the unit? And if we're spending $70-$80 for a Coop opener, we want that to be able to hold up through those weather times. So stay with me as we get this installed. We'll do additional reviews as time goes by. But I think for the most part, I really like the control panel. I like the ability to do multiple power, so the 3 power sources, battery, plug-in, or then also solar, and then also the multiple ways of it opening and closing with the downward sensor as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have any questions, I will get back with you. Appreciate it.